Steve and Alan's Pro Tips in a short time. Learn a lot.
So, Alan, there are some music programs in my area that are seeing cuts to their staffing, and I know you've got some experience with that. Let's say they've already tried all the advocacy they can, but the cut happened anyway. What are the next steps?
That's a good question, Steve. And yes, the advocacy is for another day. I'm just going to talk about what to do once the cut is made. A very specific and practical idea for you today, a little system that was used in an actual real-world situation when a band program experienced a cut. I think you can do the same thing in an orchestra program or a vocal program or the whole grade 5 through 12. General music, I think, is a different story. I'll let you be the judge of that. So here's what we did. We listed every single element of the program. I won't read you the whole list, but it included things like band lessons, concert band rehearsals, jazz band rehearsals, solo and ensemble festival, bringing in outside clinicians, taking students to honor bands, going to jazz band clinics, holding concert band concerts, having our own concerts, doing a competitive marching band parade performance, marching in the homecoming parade, a concert band salute to veterans performance, performing a commencement, doing pep band for basketball games. I've just listed just a few of them. We came up with 34 things that we did in our program, grades 5 through 12. Then we went through that list and we rated them on a scale of 1 to 4. 1 means that the activity's pertinence to standards, benchmarks, and curriculum is tenuous. It exists mostly for benefits to public relations and or program atmosphere. So an example of that would be when the jazz band goes out and performs in the community. That's not necessarily curricular. We're doing all the same stuff that we do in curricular settings, so it's not like we wouldn't be doing what we would be doing anyway. Then a 4, highest score, would be that the pertinence to standards, benchmarks, and curriculum is essential. Some parts of our standards, benchmarks, or curriculum would not be addressed if we didn't do that thing. So, for example, concert band rehearsals or solo and ensemble event preparation. Then a 2 would be that the pertinence is minimal, just a couple of items might be addressed by it. And a 3 is the pertinence is strong, that several items in our standards, benchmarks, or curriculum were addressed by that particular activity. So everything we did, all 34 things, got a score of 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then within those ranges, within the 4s, we ranked them 1 through 4. And then the next 8 items got a score of a 3. So we ranked those 5 through 12, and then we did the same thing with the 2s, then we did the same thing with the 1s. So our top 3 things that we thought were most pertinent to the delivering of our program were band lessons, concert band rehearsals, and solo and ensemble event preparation. And the bottom 3 things, at the bottom was the band party, an annual event. Second to last was marching band non-competitive parade performances, like Memorial Day and homecoming, at least in our community. And then the third least pertinent to our standards was performing at commencement. Pep band was, I think, 7th from the bottom. So then we took this list and we went to our administrators and said, hey, we have a staff cut. We're losing 25% of our teaching, our time, and our talents. So we are just going to make some cuts in order to make sure that everything else that we do is still of high quality. And this is the system that we have used to whittle things down.
Yeah, good idea.
And those administrators looked at that and said, ooh, you can't not do pep band or not perform at commencement. And we said, that's true. There are some things in that category 1 that we know we can't get away with cutting. But we are going to cut a couple of things. And 2 of them were the marching band extravaganza and the annual bandorama. Those were the 2 occasions during the year where all of the bands levels, from grade 5 all the way up to high school, all performed in the same event. So for the marching band extravaganza, all the kids were out there at halftime, and everybody loved it. It was super cute. And the football gate revenue was pretty high that day. And the other thing that we eliminated was the Bandorama, which was the concert that started with the fifth grade band, followed by the sixth grade band, etc., all the way up to the high school band. The top high school band would play, and then there would be a couple of big combined band numbers. And again, really fun for the younger kids, kind of a chore for the older kids, but again, good community relations and something that was traditional that people came to expect. But that drew a little bit of attention. And I think that two things here. I said we're going to leave the advocacy for another day, but people remembered those events, including administrators and school board members who were reasonable and acknowledged, yeah, you can't do it all, and it makes sense you cut those things. You showed us your logic. But I think it kept them aware that, once the money was there again, or once they reshifted priorities again, returning that teacher to the instrumental music program wouldn't be a bad idea. But that's the advocacy side. Let's talk about the education side and the business of building relationships with our students and giving them a program that they're proud to be a part of. Eliminating a few things and then refocusing our efforts on the things that got the scores of 3 and 4 really helped us. I don't want to say stay sane. I don't think that's the right way of putting it, but it kept us in better spirits. And I think it made our students not feel the impact quite as much as they would have otherwise.
Oh, for sure.
So that's how we survived for a few years until they did reinstate that staff position. And when they did, we very purposefully brought back those 2 visible parts we had cut, the marching band extravaganza and that spring Bandorama.
It's good practical stuff here, Alan. Any chance you'd share that spreadsheet you mentioned with the listeners?
Sure thing. Just shoot me an email with staff cut spreadsheet in the subject, and I'll shoot it back to you.
That Alan, he's a pretty good guy.
Steve and Alan's Pro Tips in a short time. Learn a lot.